They drive by and there's a sign, big sign, and it says $15 an hour, and it's always closed. When you go up to the windows of the place, it has an email and a website. Neither one of those work. At least I couldn't get them to work. Then I found the franchises and all that stuff and wrote to the corporate and said, I was interested in the job, but your email and the website don't work. And I never heard anything. Um, so, anyway, I drove by there a few times this last week and saw it was actually looking open. And so I thought, well, I'm going to check this out. And I just got off work and I was in the area and I thought, well, I'll check this thing out and see what's up. And the girl that came to the window was real nice. There was two um, uh, uh, girls working there preparing, and one lady on the drive-through that was older, and they were just banging away even with a few customers. And so she was real nice, and as I said, you got full time or whatever. She's like, oh yeah. And she's like, you want to fill out an application? You take it with you, or can you fill it out right now? I'm like, sure. 2-page, pretty simple app. So, you know, um, uh, I go and I fill it out in the car real quick. It's pretty cold tonight. And so, uh, hey, what's going on? How are you doing, Roxanne? So I went and filled out the application real quick. Didn't take any time at all. It was real simple. And then I had to stand and wait about 30 minutes while they were waiting on customers. I was freezing. But I was watching them. It's pretty fast paced. It's like shakes and ice creams, like sundaes. Everything seems to be about average price of $7. And then they have a few food items. They had like chili cheese Fritos or something, and like little hot dogs, and I guess pretty simple stuff. Well, they advertise $15 an hour, and that's average Destin pays about 15 and up. I mean, you can go work at Whataburger for $19 an hour. If you want to do that, but there's like no parking over there. But yeah, so I thought, well, it might be cool. So anyway, it's more than the two jobs I'm working at now. So anyway, I watched them, while they were working and stuff, and they were, real fast. And they make really good shakes there. Uh, I mean, it's about the same price as McGonagall's, but it's looks like a way better shake. And I mean, they overfill it everything, so it looked interesting. And I noticed they had like the recipes on the wall, so you're supposed to follow the recipe. Anyway, when she finally got a second to talk to me, and she was the manager, she came from out of state. Um, I said, she's like, it's really fast paced, especially at spring break. We'll have 3 lines all the way out to the road, plus the drive through. And you can't go inside this place. It's only, outside service. And they don't even have like tables. They have like a couple benches. Um, I guess because they didn't want people to hang around. But anyway, and very little parking. And so I said, okay, so how do you do the brakes? Well, I asked her about the brakes before I did the application. She says, I'll explain that to you when you get the app done. Well, that's a big trick. I said, so how do you do it with brakes and stuff? And she says, well, if we could take it. And I was like, what do you mean? And she says, well, we're busy. We just work it straight through. She says, and it's only a courtesy by Florida law to give a lunch or breaks. And that's in like all states. And I was like, No, Florida state law, if you work like an 8 hour shift, you have a 30-minute lunch and two 15 to 20 minute breaks that you don't have to clock out for. I know that for fact. But she was like, no, it's simply a courtesy. We don't have to give any lunches or breaks. And I said, so you're saying, if I work for you full time and I'm pulling an 8 hour or more shift, there's no lunch or break at all. She says, no, we're moving. We're constantly moving. We got the business. She says, but, if it slows down a little bit, I'll try to start letting people take some breaks. And it was like, man. And you know, so she's like, yeah, I'll put it in my stack of applications. And she was like all gung ho to hire me full time and everything. And before I even filled out the application. And yeah, um, that's like nuts. Um, I mean, she said, "Oh, we get tips too." She had told me before I filled the application, we get tips too on credit card and cash. And every person here walks out with about $75 a shift, just in tips. You know, but I mean, you'd be working people like a dog. I mean, it'd be great for somebody who likes to do a lot of go fast. I don't do any drugs. you know, man. So, I didn't even find out how often the pay is or any of that other job. But um, I'm not interested in working any job with no breaks, no lunch, no nothing. Um, that's your peacetime away from work. Um, at the one that I have, they don't want to give you any breaks, just a lunch. Tips or plus. Well, yeah, but I mean, you want to work a job with no breaks at all and no lunch and be working real fast pace, like you're working in a McDonald's or something, because they're fast in there. They're really fast. They hand make their shakes and all that stuff, and they were super, super fast. Um, but yeah, I mean, who's going to work a job with no breaks or lunches? I mean, unless you're working 3 or 4 hours a day. I would have been willing to work, an hour or two after my other job or some of my other days, and that's another discussion that we're going to get into here in a minute. I was really upset today. I just wanted to cry all day, man. I was so upset at work. But yeah, so anybody that's looking for that job in Destin with the big flashing sign that's up there 24 hours a day, it says $15 an hour now hiring, and it's at the shake place. I mean, there's the lowdown. Um, I don't think I'm interested in that. It was a total waste of my time to even fill out the application because she didn't tell me the info. She let me fill out the application first. So, yeah. I mean, why would you even waste somebody's time? Just tell them the facts and be done with it. I mean, I understand if you're real busy. I mean, even when I worked at trains and stuff, hell, everybody's like, well, do we get breaks and lunches? And I'm like, well, no. But if you do, you have to clock out. I said, you can sit there and eat your lunch. You can work with a burrito in your mouth for all I care. Because you sit so much of the time waiting on customers, um, and you sit on the park bench, and you're waiting on customers. Sometimes you won't have customers for hours. Sometimes, you'll do, a bunch of runs and then it's dead for half an hour. And you can sit there and play on your phone while you're not, like taking care of customers. We don't care. If you want to eat, if you want to run to the bathroom, any of that, you could do what you want because we pay you straight through. But and you're an independent contractor, so You know, that's different. But if you have to be on your feet all the time, and working real fast paced, you should be able to have, breaks and lunches. That's for sure. With the trains, you're not on your feet all the time. You're sitting all of the time. You're rarely on your feet. But yeah, so I'm gonna close this vlog out, and I'm gonna start another one about my two jobs, and you'll never believe it. I hope you saw the other vlog, because this one's gonna get interesting. So I'll be right back.